Hey guys, I hope you're well. A little medical story for you, and it's funny how one thing leads to another. I'm about to do my CW setup hint video for newer CW ops, and I've been giving it some pretty deep thought as to what I'd like to mention in the hopes of not forgetting too much. And it's funny how one thing leads to another. I'm I was going to mention to you guys in that video how I don't work from a script. I would never do that. And even in my past biomedical engineering career, I wouldn't work from a script when conducting in services to my fellow technicians. For example, when I went to a Liebel-Flarsheim Angio Injector school, see in the green there? That was my prep for my in service. Those are my scripted in service, which took about 2.5 hours. Why angio injectors? In other words, what do they do? The patient connection, which includes the pressures involved. Typical injection. What would happen during a typical angio injection? Both setup and patient care wise. And then I'd talk about the mechanics of the system and the electronics of the system. And the most important is the last. Did you enjoy your catered Ethiopian lunch, guys? Truly, that was an in service of mine. And I want to ask you something, guys. If I gave you a syringe that was 60 milliliters, which is about 2 ounces, and now that's about half the actual size of the syringe. And if I filled the thing with room temperature honey and connected a needle to it, that's about the actual diameter, about a little larger than the diameter of a pencil lead, right? How long do you think it would, if you pushed as hard as you can on the plunger, how long would it take you to eject that 2 ounces of honey out of that little needle? Now, let's say I take that needle off and replace it with a plastic catheter that'll be snaked up either through your groin or your neck into your aorta. And what if that catheter is like 2 feet long, about the same diameter, inside diameter, as that drawing right there? Now how long is it going to take you to push that 2 ounces of honey through that catheter into the poor bastard's aorta? An angio injector is a machine that you clamp a preloaded syringe of contrast media that's refrigerated. And it has the same consistency as honey, about, give or take. It's a white liquid. And that thick ass refrigerated substance, you clamp that syringe into the angio injector, you vacate the area lest there is an explosion from the pressure, and from the control booth they initiate the injection while the patient lays under a fluoroscope so that they can watch the contrast media flow through his circulatory system. And when they trigger that injection, that machine starts slow and it ramps up logarithmically, and you hear the stepper motor in it just start cranking. And you hear it straining under the stress of the pressure. Now, when I used to, I worked a split shift, man. I used to go into this control booth all alone at night after the department was shut down to do my magic with the machine. And I would, all alone, I'd sit there. Hang on. And in my chair, in front of me and behind me, I could look at the procedure table in the procedure room through the thick-ass leaded glass radiation-proof windows. I would grab the controls and bring the room to life. Chink, 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 chink. On come the lights, on come the fluoroscopy machines, on come the radiology equipment. And lights and indicators all over the place would start glowing, and you'd hear this whoa, this hum. And the hairs on the back of my neck would stand up, man. I felt like Dr. Science. I'd connect my test gear and I'd sit there, man, and I'd scope out the pressure gauge, connect it to the Angio Injector while I initiated an injection. And I'd watch the needle bobbling up around 1500 to 1600 psi, and then I'd kill the injection. Yeah! And I'd smile. And then I'd turn around. I'd bring up the other room. On the other side of the windows behind me, chink, 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 chink. Whoa. On come the indicators. Up stands the hairs on the back of my neck, and Dr. Science gets to work again. You know, guys, not all of my biomed career was bizarre and strange. Some of it was just the technologically surreal. And God, I miss that. God, I miss that. God, I miss that. Thanks for listening, man. Be well. 73. Stay tuned for my rig setup video. Bye now.